have so many questions here. 3 of them are related to age, whether somebody under 30, a 14-year-old, and a child, osteoarthritis or pain in the body or in the joints. WHO about 10 years ago says osteoarthritis starts in women from from about the age of 50 and in men about the age of 60. But about 5 years ago, they brought the figure lower for women below age of 40 and for men below age of 50. Why will this be? The kind of nutrition we are taking these days, the kind of pollution in the air and everything is causing a lot of problem. What are we eating? Like we have heard Dr. Ore talking about food. But if you have a child that is complaining of pain, and you've taken them to hospital, which hospitals have you taken? I want to say, please bring them to National Orthopedic Hospital Igbobi. That's the center of bone treatments, at least in Lagos. Then change the diet. What are you feeding these children with? I happen to be with some little children recently. What they feed them? Golden morn in the morning, rice in the afternoon, rice or whatever in the evening. And it continues, and I'm like, So when do these children eat fruits and fibers and other things? Say, we will give them. They don't like to eat it. I say, So morning, afternoon, night, you are repeating the same thing day in, day out. The children will be deficient of so many things, and they will begin to have malformation of their bones. So if you have taken the child to the hospital, they've run tests and they can't find anything, I think you should start changing the diet of that child. Then correct postures. These days, children put back sack, heavy books on their back, and they go like that. Like I told you before, once the alignment changes, the center of gravity will change. When your child start carrying the what do they call it? Back sack, whatever. When they carry those books, their back, and it tilts them forward, there is rubbing already of the cartilages, either in the hip, in the knee, whatever. They will start complaining of pain. And sometimes, I have to say this, sometimes, some people are just born with problems. Deficiency. Some children are not absorbing the vitamin D. They are not absorbing the, what is it called now? They are deficient in calcium. They are not, I've forgotten the name. Pardon me. I've told you I'm not qualified. So, but vitamin D3, not phosphorus. This common, I've forgotten. There is deficiency. Change the diet. See a dietitian, please. If this problem continues, see a dietitian. There is a question here that talks about heat flushes. Sometimes we push everything to menopause. It's not all the time. Yes, menopause have their own challenges. Some people actually have these heat flushes. But if you remember my definition of, maybe I didn't define osteoarthritis in terms of inflammation. It's an inflammation. If there is inflammation going on somewhere, there will be hot feelings. There will be heat generated. The body will be warm to touch. There will be pain if there is inflammation. And inflammation can happen from either injury or infection. So you need to go and test and know what you are going through. Don't push everything under menopause. And if it is menopause, if you control what you eat as well, eat healthy food, make your body alkaline, as in take natural things, organic products, eat uncooked food. What do I mean by uncooked food? You eat Fruits, you eat vegetable. Carrots, you don't need to boil. What else? We're told of corn now. You have to boil the corn or whatever you do. But eat natural things. Don't eat processed things. And if you eat natural things, you will be accumulating alkaline condition for your body, which is better. We've been told that lime and lemon, if you take those things, they help you. They help to build alkaline. When your body is generally, acid generates heat. Even from our little sciences. If you touch the container of sulfuric acid, it's warm. The opposite is for alkaline. It gives you a cold environment. So change your diet. Diet has a lot to do with our health. Said, aside from drugs, what do we do to reduce uric acid? Stop eating meat. Stop eating red meat. They say turkey. Turkey is high in uric acid. Some people will say they are running from red meat. They are eating turkey. Turkey is high in uric acid. I think fish, scaly fish are better. When you want to reduce uric acid, reduce your processed food, reduce your animal protein. They are the source of uric acid. So 14-year-old, I've dealt with that. What kind of meal to build? What kind of meal to take to build our bone? You've been told about vitamins, but I want to sound this note of warning. A lot of women take calcium as supplements, especially when they are getting to menopause. They will tell you, you need calcium. Before you start taking calcium as supplements, go and test if you are deficient of calcium. Excess calcium can be very dangerous, and a lot of people just swallow calcium as meal. Before you start taking calcium as supplements, do your blood test, your analysis. Let them tell you that you have deficiency of calcium. Thank you. Yes, this is the one I'm keeping for the last. I hope I've answered all other. There are some that came after. Is there any other way managing spinal cord bone shift instead of surgical? Okay, I'm coming. This question will make me to ask for permission, which I've been wanting to, but because of this question, I'm going to ask for permission to do. We bought a mat for a demonstration, but because of time, I couldn't get to that. With this question, that apart from spinal cord, is there other ways of managing spinal cord shift instead of surgical transplants when suggested by doctor? Because of this, we'll have a session with permission of what we call the cross. We'll go to the cross and we'll have a solution to that. What could be the cause of monthly stomach pain during menstrual cycle? I got this same question from Southwest 7 last week. Menstrual pain and spinal back pain. Sorry. This is a simple thing. A lot of people have menstrual pain. This is a flow of blood that has to pass through narrow vessels to come out. As they are passing that narrow vessel, they give discomfort. But the thickness, the density of the blood will determine how much pain you have. If you are eating all sorts of junks and the density of the blood is very thick, to come out of that narrow blood vessel will be painful. That is one. That is one of the reasons why we have menstrual pain. But if menstrual cycle is giving you back pain, sometimes what is just happening is that there is accumulation of fluid in your lower abdomen, which is causing pressure on the bone. Number one, because of that extra fluid, you have a little distension of the abdominals. I don't know whether I'm making sense. There is fluid, which is not always there. Now, the brain will direct a lot of water, a lot of fluid to form the blood that you will pass out. And that blood is a weight on its own, which is causing distension of the lower abdominal. That distension will shift your alignment, your center of gravity a little. Then it's putting pressure too, because your abdominal is now distending, pulling you forward, pulling on the ligaments of the vertebral column, distorting the alignment of the low back. So that distortion of the alignment will be interpreted as pain. So that discomfort is just temporary. You will see that it's usually common first 2 days of the menstrual cycle. By the time you are getting to the third day, as the fluid is reducing, that discomfort is reducing because the quantity of fluid that is causing the distension has reduced. That's about that. Yes, this is question that I'm keeping for the last. Remember, it takes two to tango. What if you love someone and the other person is envious of you, hates you, and there is no peace? What can one do? Take the matter to God. Pray about it. Number one, that's the first thing. When you take it to God, God will direct you how to reach out to that person. In the sense that if you are ready for peace, say, love does not count wrongs. You will be able to forgive that person. If you continue to show this person love, a time will come, there will be a breaking point. But I want to tell you, if you pray about it, God will lead you. God will direct you on what to do. The Bible gave us parameters to take in settling quarrel. You go to that person one-on-one. This person is not yielding. You report to another person. It's not yielding. You take the matter to the church. But I want to tell you that if you go all the way, go and apologize for sins you don't commit, this person will budge. Even if temporarily, by a time will come when you say, what exactly do I want? This woman has begged me. The story I told you about my patient, do you know that we discharged this woman in less than 3 weeks? A woman that has been coming for over 3 years. Because she decided to forgive and make amends. The last time she came to our department, it was this same daughter-in-law that she never wanted to see that brought her. So, sometimes I know it's very difficult to relate with people. Go to that person and say, I'm sorry. For the sins you commit and the one I committed, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
For about 36 years. And in the course of my practice, the Holy Spirit visited me one day and taught me something new outside the books. He taught me how living every day, we don't balance our muscle activities, and the tension in our muscles are not balanced. And the question is, if you look at yourself every day and daily activities, excuse me, I have cold. The whole frontal muscles, your anterior group of muscles, the muscles of the front, they are always active. From the fingers, look at fingers, everything we do every day, your fingers are bent. When you are eating, you are writing, your fingers are bent. Your wrist is always bent. Your elbow is always bent. Your shoulder is medially rotated, what we call internal rotation. Is always this way. I mean, in whatever you do, you are writing, your shoulders come up. your elbows are flexed. Even your trunk is bent over. There's nothing we do with our trunk in extension. Is there? No. So every day, we use the muscles of the front. When you use a muscle, it becomes stronger. But in the state of that usage, the ligaments, the tendons attached to the muscles, when they are in use, their muscles are shortened, but their ligaments are extended and stretched. I want you to picture this. You are using a muscle. The muscle will go into what we call contraction. And in that contraction is in the shortened stage. But the tendon attached to that muscle, which attaches the muscle to the bone, you are stretching on it as you are using the muscle. But the muscles of the back, all the posterior muscles, which are antagonists to the front muscle, they do exact opposite to what the front muscle do. During the day, you hardly use any of them. And when you don't use a muscle, they become weak. And a muscle that is not used will be in the relaxed position, but its tendon will be short, opposite the muscles you are using, that the tendons are elongated. So the muscles of the back are always elongated, their tendons are short. So to correct what you do or what you have done the whole day, there is a position you can put yourself that will balance out those tension, and whatever pain, whatever abuse you have put the body to during the day, in that position you will correct it, because it will put you in exact opposite position of what you did the whole day. So I will need a volunteer, somebody in trousers, to demonstrate this position. It is actually, okay, maybe when we have assumed that position, I will tell you what that position is called. Who can volunteer? Okay, I have a volunteer there. Okay. So when you are actively working in the day, you are accumulating some tension in all your frontal muscles while the back muscles are in their relaxed position. And that alone is enough to cause you pains. That is why people say in old age we bend. We bend because all the muscles of the front are active, and the winner take all. The winner takes all. So the muscles of the front that are stronger, they bring you to the bent position. Meanwhile, the back muscles are relaxed and they are weaker. That is why when you lift something, suddenly you hear a snap and you are wondering, this back pain started just lifting something, or we just bending to pick something. When you bend wrongly, you will snap something and back pain will start. So I'm going to position my sister in exact opposite position to what you do lie on your back. No, let your head be on the mat. Let's hear. You know, when we are doing this, we are assuming that the mat is large enough. If your mattress is very strong, you can use your mattress. But if your mattress is not strong, I will advise just put a duvet on the floor and lie on this. This is something I will advise you do after you have done everything. All you need to do is just go to bed. You have eaten, you have finished all the chores of the day. So before you go to bed, you just put yourself in this position for about 20 minutes. It relaxes you and balances all the tensions of the body. Please, can you stretch your arms at shoulder level? At shoulder, no, this one is getting, okay. Okay. You won't cross your leg. There is an alignment. No, put your legs together. No crossing of the leg. There is an alignment. I'm sorry, I forgot my rolled towel. All you need to do is roll a towel. Please, can I have that water? I'm assuming this is a towel that I have rolled into a cylindrical position. I'm going to put it right under her neck. Please, can you raise your head? That's a roll towel under the neck. She's in alignment, and her arms are open. Can you see the fingers? The palms must be looking upward, not this way. The palms are looking up. The fingers are stretched. The elbow, the wrist, everything is stretched. The trunk is in extension. Everywhere is in alignment. If you are in this position for the first time, you will be feeling some kind of readjustment within your body. A kind of feeling, a kind of movement. It is redistribution of tension. The tensions you have acquired in the front during the day will start releasing themselves. The muscles of the back that did not do anything during the day will take up some tension, will take up some work. And after some time, there will be balance. And what you will feel is a relaxation. You will be relaxed. Wherever pain is, we'll start adjusting until everything quiets down. I've used this position to treat back pain more than 10 years, and it's working for me. This position, if you look at it, what does it look like? This is the cross. This is the position of the cross. And what the Holy Spirit ministered to me the day he taught me this, says, at the cross there is healing. At the cross there is salvation. And when you position yourself in this position, speak to your Father and declare your healing, and the Lord will heal you in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adesoya. So I hope we have all learned that. So do it every day. And the Lord will heal us at the cross in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for these questions. I'll try and go through them as fast as possible. I would just touch briefly. There are some of the things I've talked about. Someone is asking, is it healthier to eat spaghetti than rice? So the reason why I showed us the glycemic index is so that you will know how much to take at different times. If you are eating rice every day, twice a day, every week, you know that is not healthy. But it's not as if you cannot eat rice, that because they say rice has high glycemic index, I should only be eating spaghetti. No, that's not the idea. But for people that need to lose weight and you want to have a healthy lifestyle, rice is not the only food. You understand? So you must make sure that you also consume other important foods, especially vegetables and fruits. We are advised to eat fruits in what portion daily. The recommendation is actually 5 portions of fruits and vegetable in a day, 5 portions. But you don't take it at the same time. You take them at 5 different times in a day, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in between. If you're at work, you're hungry, you want to snack on a fruit. So, and what does a portion mean? It means a medium size of apple, a medium size of orange, a medium slice of watermelon, medium slice of, when it comes to vegetables, like things like cucumber, cabbage, carrots, those ones, the sugar is very minimal. If you remember the slide I showed earlier, you can see that the glycemic indices of vegetables are the lowest within the category of 15. Compare that to 78 or 76. So let that be part of even the rice you are taking. Is it good to take fruit on an empty stomach? In some people, we will say don't take it on an empty stomach, especially those that have ulcers. But if you are breaking a fast, you don't want to go and, take EBA when you are breaking a fast. It's better to take fruits, even though your tummy is empty. But if you are an ulcer patient, please don't try that. What are the measures you should take if you are diagnosed with fatty liver? Please go to the make sure you go to the hospital to be diagnosed. And once you are diagnosed, they might give you some medication, but the mainstay is to correct the lifestyle that caused the fatty liver. And it has to do with all the things we've been talking about. The 3 great inflammators: oil, sugar, meat, red meat. You cut down on those things as possible. And when I'm talking about sugar, I mean processed sugar, refined sugar. Even the portions of our natural sugars should also be controlled. With the high level of glycemic index of fruits, if you notice, the glycemic index of fruits was very low. I hope you are not going away with the fact that glycemic index of fruits is high. The only one I mentioned that was high was watermelon. And it's only because of how liquid it is. You understand? If you look at the load of glucose in it, it's very low. It's only the index that is high. So it's only if you are consuming a very high quantity or large quantity that you have a problem with watermelon. So glycemic index of fruits are very low, within the range of 35, 45, 40. You cannot compare that with what we saw in the other meals. Does sugar cause high blood problem? Yes, it can lead to it. It can lead to it. What are the foods you can eat to avoid sugar? So, avoiding sugar, avoid refined sugar. The ones I mentioned: small chops, cakes, minerals, malt, juice, chivita, all those things. Those are the things you need to avoid. Those are refined sugar, processed sugar. But you can't avoid sugar totally because it is found in everything you are eating, even in vegetable. It's only that the content in fruits and vegetables is very low, and the glycemic index also is very low. Sugar in our system, what happens when it is cut down and affects your health, and your doctor tells you have low sugar? So this is a problem for a lot of people. So if your blood sugar is low, then you need to look at what you are eating. Maybe you don't have enough fiber in your diet. And maybe you are taking things that have high sugar content. And what happens is that if it has a high sugar content, it raises your blood sugar high, and within a short time it crashes it. And you feel very weak and tired, and you feel like eating something again. Unlike if you eat a food that contains a lot of fiber and the blood sugar is released into your blood very slowly on a plateau before it comes down, and you find yourself feeling full for most of the day. So don't think that the solution to low blood sugar is to go and be drinking mineral and Coke and all that. I've heard that a lot recently. It's still important for you to take your natural meals that are loaded with fiber and good fruits and vegetables. We are told that eggs should be avoided at a certain age as we grow older, but now we are told to take enough eggs even at old age. So everything is portion control. We will never say don't take eggs at all. But when you are older, yes, because the body's metabolism slows down, the way we process things is slower than when we were younger. So even if you give a child an egg every day, I won't expect an adult above 40 to be eating eggs every day. So you need to cut it down because, yes, it can predispose you to high cholesterol. It is a dairy product. It can predispose you to high cholesterol and other issues. How can one manage difficult sleeping or inability? Okay, before that, I shared a slide. Somebody was asking about sucrose and fructose. So I just want us to know that sucrose can actually be compounded. So a lot of these companies that do foods, they put sucrose inside ketchup, they put it in mayonnaise, they put it in all these cereals, all those things I mentioned. Sucrose, is table sugar. Table sugar is sucrose. And it contains glucose and fructose. So they combine it and they now add it to many of those packaged products so that it can give it a taste and flavor that will make people want to buy. However, fructose on its own, the one that is in fruits, is very low. You can see it there, 15. But see the one for sucrose, 65. So people now combine glucose and fructose to get sucrose, and they now add it to a lot of our food. For difficulty managing sleep, I didn't talk about sleep today, but there's a slide on that. Just look at the slide. Those are the things that can prevent you from having a good quality sleep. Thank you.